carved my box up a little bit like a grass. Yeah, has a that thing is meant to be for the you have like a to put your bike inside that, and then you put it into the yeah. Sometimes you can leave that one in your room. You can put it either in that one or into that other one. Yeah, the Eve one can go in this one, and the canopy one can go that. Yeah, exactly like that. Make it look unique. Yeah, and push the rest of the other ones that is in the canopy beside my mom's window. Yeah, there's plenty of space there. Yeah, push it all there. Because my mom wants it in the DR. No, because medicine boy that he drops, so that area can be for her to put the medicine there on the yeah, that thing. Oh, we're playing the game. Yeah. Yeah, I know it kind of word it just kind of repeats the same same thing with that. Yeah. Because you got used to you when you food court, you like to, someone comes in and you repeat the same thing later on, so it just echoes kind of way into it. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more longer. Maybe sometimes you might miss that obstacle. Yeah. Oh, the one who wrote that one, that one. Okay, it's first is this, then you go to tracking on the second. Yeah, the second of the this agency wrote it because it will say FedEx on the top, and then you go way down. Then there's a shipping detail right there. Yeah, it says right here. We have noticed that the tracking info for your package has not been updated recently because they on the 5th of it, and then yeah, 5th on December. And then information delivery update may be delayed on weekends. If it has not been delivered by December 19th, you can apply for a refund. You can also contact FedEx for info, but that is not necessary. Yeah, just a top-up one. That's only if you know what you're gonna talk and ask. Yeah, it'll be social media kind of DR notice. And the bottom is on December 5th, the same thing, delivery exception. Yeah, that one. And then they have a PO box number in there, and then the date and the email. Oh, I'm in the forest park. How far is my camp from here? Yeah, so this roaming one, they drop you anywhere you want. Yeah, they drop you so that means I'm on the forest area. So I'm over here. Oh no, I will be up above here somewhere. There's the forest area. I would be by the shack. Yeah, not too far to Armadillo. Yeah, just right up, has to be within the this part right here, Lower Montana River kind of thing. It's in the forest area. Let me see. It's the half moon. Oh, the benefit. That thing has a star in it. Oh, here. Oh, strawberry. Oh, down below strawberry. Yeah, just down below. How come you couldn't see that one? Yeah, how did we miss that? Because it flickers like that. Oh, we were here. Yeah, we spawned here like that because when we went upward. Yeah, I'm sorry, beside. There's something on this. Or is it just a reminder? Oh, it still can precipitate on this one, helping out. Yeah, wave 5. Yes, and on this one too. Yes, it's here on a natural sample. Collect wildlife sample with one core captured photo from a sail distance. distant to aid. Let's see. Collect wildlife sample with care or capture photo from the sail distant. I have no clue what's that. Oh, some sail? I think you have to on sample sail. Yeah, I'm gonna have to study that a little bit. Yeah, kind of work. I want to do that. What do you call it? Oh, that's right. Yeah, what do you call it? The pelts. You have to do the pelts, then you can get more currency. You're getting low on currency. Yeah, we need to do the pelts. Let's see how far are we. Where are we right now? Okay, there's a train going there. That's that far. Where's the closest here? Yeah, that's too far. Rather than crossing the river, stay on the river. Yeah, just go to this side. It's a shallow river here. Let's go to this one. Oh, it's yeah. Yeah. Let's go this way. That's one door. We're across a little river. Oh yeah, there's that bridge. It just moves. They might have spoiled some pelts out of the spoiled some pelts out of the shooting. Like bow and arrow would have worked it, but you need to trigger not happy, but focus it on it. Okay, the wagon should be coming in. Let's go grab a pelt first. What's supposed to be the square? Oh, there's a lot of space in it, so it should work out pretty good. Oh, not bad of the pelt. Oh, no, yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, okay. I should have put that square. But that's okay. Oh, that's gonna be the other one. Yeah, it's gonna be the other one, so I just want to. Sometimes the player will come and by this way. They'll see it. Sometimes they might see that the carcass, or sometimes they timing that the pelt will disappear kind of way. Yeah, absorb into the soil. Oh, let's see, one more. Oh, that sometimes it's good to pull over on this one and take that pelt, because what happened? It's good, yeah, or the carcass, yeah. Some are over at the just imported at the YVR right now. Custom clearance. Yeah, there's a custom clearance. You remember when I was telling you about the about posting handling one? Yeah, it's declared the customs this morning. Because you know how how the content are created. You should know that. Wait, let me see which one good. Let's go the other way. There's a GT5 parking plus, not parking turning. That was hilarious yesterday. When the pot come through the back and both of them plowed right into my wagon in the back. Coming in good mood in the run. Yeah, that's the unknown I think claim. And they assassinate me. Not assassinate, but trail raid. Trail, this is the trail. Yeah, trail raid. Road raid. Yeah, kind of like that. The old. I think I know where we're going. But the puzzle should be okay. Yeah, it's one there. Oh, it's still Here, just past me. Yeah, the play with the lantern. But he didn't know which way where I'm, because when they're sprinting, and if I'm too far on the left or right side, they won't be able to see me. Oh, there's another place here. Oh, this is a different player, it's not the same one.
You might consider the morality, the inhumanity of wearing that on your head. I have no interest in any of this.
Michelle, let's see what it says by. Maybe it says
I
something
know
on the
what you've been up to. Word travels fast in the forest.
Again.
Well, I won't stand for it.
Yeah, I got that thing on my head, that's why. Because he's thinking you find the easy way to get the pelt closer to it. Yeah, that's why. Oh, not too far, I think it's right up there.
I have no interest in trading with you. Go somewhere else.
I don't know if this one doesn't have a... This one's the whole... Yeah, that's the whole outfit. Oh, it's the other thing. Yeah, kind of. Oh, then you have to do something else for a while. Let's go there. Oh, no, let's dismiss that. Let's dismiss that one. Not that way. Yeah, to dismiss this one, and then... Oh, otherwise... Yeah, that's how long you have to wait for the wagon. But the horse will be here at no time, kind of way. There's somebody here. want a little bit more here before we get here. That's not a play right now. Yeah, looks like it's sometime kind of. I'm gonna go back here, right about here, and then yeah, we'll just get and then see if we get the bigger ones. Then we can just get some. Somebody can't see it on that. Times me. That's fine. No, the open field is more to this way now. There's a nice sunrise right there. Let's do that. Really yeah. We can't, yeah, we won't get this like that. But we need to get a little bigger. Yeah, the other one we're saving just in case the clear one's full. This is going to give us a bit more. I have to use this. This other place was tracking me with the Christmas tree, the mini blue Christmas tree. Yeah, they're tracking me. Yeah, they're tracking me with the mini blue tree on the west port. Yeah, should get me one of those trees. Yeah, you can clear it on in the bus. There's no problem with that. Yeah, that's carrying on free. I know we're gonna lose this one without the pelt. Let's just put this one in here. Yeah, because sometimes what happened, the ones that might save it within the air, the air curve. Let's go for a couple more. Yeah, if a bigger one comes in this area, then we can take that. We just gotta go one full line backwards and then backwards. Okay. This is the route. This is the biggest pelt that can grab you within that much time. Just to fill up that. One we kind of ran over here somewhere. Yeah, there were 3 of them. I think we could have got it, but we're getting the other one, but this one came on the way, so we thought made it. Yeah, because this one, I think this one's the. I think this is the card. I think this is the one you carved out, and then you get points out of it. Yeah, I think this is the one. He said pelts. Yeah, pelts. I don't know if this feathers work. Only pelts. It didn't seem to show up on that. Yes, you have to get that much pelt then it goes. Yeah, so my dad came. Yeah, I was at my sister's place. Hanging out yesterday over there. Yeah, my sister phoned him and said he's over there doing some shopping. My dad's there. Oh, we're gonna keep on continuing there. Just you never know that he might have a flashback. Yeah, so we're gonna keep on that. Yeah, exactly with the DR node. The DR node will be there. Sometimes this would tell us a collateral that not sleepwalking. Yeah, not sleepwalking like that. No, not a sleepwalking. Yeah, with the DR node. Then next time the people will go. Yeah, okay, maybe the flashback you might need to. Yeah, kind of thing. So that's. weird, the mustache already. Yeah, my mom goes, what happened when you got a mustache already? You end up dazed. Yeah. Yeah, my mom took the shake it up the next. Oh, he's another. Yeah, I should have kept it for a while. But it's only for. Who's the rabbit? That thing came at me. Came at me, so I had to shoot it. Anything. No. Okay, we're gonna have to carve this one. Yeah, next time when we get I think that the plan, this one, yeah, that will give us a little perfect pelts. Yeah, that will give a perfect pelt, so we don't need to worry about it. But we're gonna have to do some research on that. The paw one, we have to go back to that guy, yeah, and see if you need more pelts. No, we have to do the carcass first. Yeah, so we're gonna use the trolley. Yeah, there is some pelts in it, but it's the carcass they want more. Yeah, perfect carcass. Yeah, we want to save the carcass. But we're getting too much of the, I don't know. But the other guy who was helping us, he had good perfect ones. So I think he has a plan already, good one. Yeah, that's one, you need that one. Okay, we're gonna make another run.
I travel alone.
Yeah, that's the thing, I travel alone too, yes. But Blanky before, he just helped out in the, in the moon shack in a good way, yeah. He's around here somewhere around here. Of course, when being really good, or he's around here. Okay, yeah, let's see. I'm getting my mom to watch the Paw Patrol. Yeah, she likes the Paw Patrol kind of thing. Yeah. He was watching the commercial. Yeah, she said, hey, what about that? The fire truck one. Yeah, that's Blind Man just kind of talking. Yeah, he got her into that. Yeah, exactly. Here's what's going there. Paw Patrol? Yeah, the police. Yeah, they're selling some product to my mom that, but she didn't buy the product. Yeah, but yeah, I have to buy her some of those products for putting in the living room for nicely. Not for bedroom because her bedroom is her. Okay, I think we might need we might need to get the big one. Yeah, let's get. I don't want to lose this one. Yeah, let's get the wagon. Because we're talking so much, this thing's gonna put air and like that's how it's gonna happen. So I mean, this is a better way. It's better. But sometimes before in the PS4, I was not worried as much. I think Talking Nine never got to us that time. Yeah, got it to it now. Yeah, so we might have to. We can't pick this thing up. Yeah, we need to pick this one. Okay. The horse went. Yeah, the horse went away. But I don't think so. Where's the thing? Someone's here. Oh, the horse. Yeah, I don't want to go through the horse. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that guy was running for the horse. That's a good movement. Yeah, like you trying to round up the horse. He's somewhere further. Oh, what's that? Yeah, but rounding up the horses, they're fucking horses, the stable horse kind of language. Yeah, just like, but I don't know. Round it to take it to the barn, yeah, and then put it in there. Unless if it's a livestock one or it's a wild horses. Yeah, wild horses you can take it minimum or you can take it more. These guys, yeah, managed to maneuver the horses just how they want it. They take that much horses and the horses are back again. Yeah, unless if these guys want to sleep, the horses walk away from them and they're catching the same horses round and round because they take out the saddle out of it. yeah, maybe that's the thing. They keep on rounding up the horses and then it goes away and they come back again rounding. Maybe it does. Maybe the horse escapes away on them. yeah, and then they're back on the truck hunting them again. Not hunting, but they're rounding them again. Yeah, exactly the patchy stuff. Yeah, it goes away and then they have to go round them up again. We're gonna go to toward the shack. we're gonna go there. Yeah, just a few switch. I think we might have to switch the clothes. We could like, oh, it's taking a long route. It's taking the longer route. Let's go back. Yeah, it's only the other one. Oh, we have to. Yeah, we have to. This is a very, very, very. This takes about hours. But we can go over and let this one go. Let this one go. Let's get that one first. Look to the side here. Yeah. Not too close to the tree, but because his nose kind of thing, yeah. So the horse is right into it. Yeah, then he sneezes. Okay, let's get that. I have to go one more back. There's one more. Okay. Call out. I wonder what is a call out. I don't know. That one's always marked. Yeah, that one you don't need to worry. Yeah, just wait till it comes through. Oh, it is. Oh, that's good. It is still on. Yeah. Okay, we still go back there. Now we can go the other way. Oh, maybe that way you can go. You can. Yeah, hunt for more pelt. Yeah, the switch there. Yeah, just try to put the other one. I don't want to waste that. But the other one you can get more ammo on that one. That's and you can take it back with you. I don't think so. You would dissolve before you leave. Yeah, oh, the customs, clear the custom. That was that one, not the PO box. That reminds me of the PO box. It's like you have to pay the postal handling. Yeah, that means you have to be at your door. Yeah, so this is a good kind of help out with the armor kind of thing. So yeah, it's already at the customs right now. It cleared the customs already. Cleared the customs. Yeah, that's like cleared the customs. How everything's just so perfect, how they want to get the warehouses in different places, and then you can buy it come from the warehouse and from here in a different continent. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Long as the boss and everything does the right way on their behalf, don't go over to the other kind. Yeah, that they want to. See, you got the imagination in among the warehouses right there. Yeah, right there. See, you got it right there, and they have to study how to sell the product like that. So you got something new right there. And I got the outfit costume too. Outfit about the woman right from the with my mom, because I have to purchase with my mom. Yeah, so, oh, that thing wouldn't be there. Yeah, like that. Yeah, you were exactly with the little stars on it. These things you can shoot with the rabbits. Yeah, it is. We used to get the pets. Yeah, we're missing out the running in the horse. That looked like a tower to me. Yeah, yeah. Those are just that mountain. Yeah, they could, but it's a copycat kind of thing. Yeah, there are some places that have it already, so you have to do your own way always. Yeah. Yeah, they made it like amusement now in some places. Yeah, some places like that. So yeah, it's just a replica kind of thing. Even on the first part of the agency, they said provincially expected delivery November 29 to December 9. We're sorry for your delay, kind of thing. And then the second, when you track it, yeah, then it will tell you on the other one.
Easy now. Well, that thing ain't gonna scare us, not here.
Oh, we are at that strawberry. Strawberry apple.
Any reason you've got your gun drawn? Hey, watch yourself. What? Do you want
Oh,
something
my
from me?
guns are mine. Oh yeah, because we're being them. Yeah, like say, I'm not saying that we should go back, but if we ever go back in there, you have to do that one again because you don't want them to spoil that employer because of this something these guys are doing. Yeah. Yeah, two persons never, but this one is still talking about the address kind of, someone blocking the entrance kind of way that way. These guys, but this is only for me, not for the one. But they can learn a little bit how to view the, but they have to do with just control or something like that. Yeah, they got a lot of options there. Yeah, I can't. They know I'm glazing, but they got an option to move one step forward to yeah, like that. They don't need to back it up, or they get a flashback from the other character. That character, but yeah, that's the others gonna happen. Before they said, oh, we got someone that can do it, then they spin it back to that, yeah, that way. So this is the same thing is going on with the business kind of way. Or are we back to
Welcome back.
also kind of. Let's get the horse one down first, because we don't want those because it was concrete, I thought maybe it was those plants. Herbs.
Docks are looking good. I suppose this'll do. Yeah, anything's better than nothing. I'll take whatever I can get.
Because that's it. Why when you use this cheap poles, it takes absorbs more. They want the double of one. Yeah, that's why. Look how far. Yeah, it's that far down below. Holy smokes! Oh, we're gonna have to go sell these things. Yeah, these ones. That's in our retro bag. Yeah. We can do that later. Yeah, and yeah, once we get that done. Yeah, once we get all the inventory sold out in the power one, and then we can just give this to Crips, yeah, every good ones and everything. We can't give the good ones until we figure out, okay, that's enough of the pelts giving and so, but we can make a little currency. Yeah, that's true. We're making currency as we give the cheaper pelts. This one will wait. Yeah, we can sell even the feathers too. Yeah, we can sell the feathers to them too and give this one. Yeah, we can do both. Yeah, we can do that. We'll give this one for now and next round. Yeah. And the poor ones, yeah, we'll give it to Crip for now and see, because you can get a good price and oops. Wow, look at it filling up here. Looks nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's get the other one. Okay, that one should come within the. Yeah, let's see. The trolley? Let's check the radar kind of thing. Yeah, it's just coming up above here. It's coming up on the opposite. Yeah, let's wait and see if this is... Yeah, pause. Okay, let's pause right here. Down. No. Oh, there it is. Oh, we have to drive it in. Oh, we should have checked it if it works. Yeah, maybe we could. Let's see. Oh, they can. Oh, yeah. They got a purpose. Yeah, so we can still drive it. But only in the game, because otherwise the springs is there. Yeah, it sounds like, yeah, that guy with it, Saran, usually I see. Either he uses my voice kind of, because then people know, or he just, yeah, kind of, yeah.
Supplies are looking healthy right now. Guess beggars can't be choosers. Okay,
Yeah, we can't
have to do.
save the. Yeah, we can't save this one because it would take too much space.
Okay then. No comment.
The what do you call carcasses? Yeah, you won't give the. You can't. Yeah, put enough. If you have it empty, then yeah, you're gonna keep that one. Yeah, because that's. Fill it up really quick. That's a steak, like a soup kind. Yeah, stew. Steak stew. Yeah, you used to get that in the cans. Steak stew.
There's some stew in the pot if you're hungry. A little bland, but edible.
Oh, we got a stew. 25 more. Yeah, so we have to move in the number. How many stews yet? Yeah, I'll show the number till you get the gold color, and then you get a bell bucket for that. Yeah, then we're done. We got lots of things. We get the other ones done, then we'll figure out. This one goes on its own routine kind of way, auto kind of, yeah. Whatever we get, and then we can figure out. Because we rather than keep on running into it, yeah. But everything has just a perfect course going in it. Yeah, just like Gunmobile Gold kind of saying that kind of, yeah, everything has that kind of way. You're running into each other, your kind of words and those things. Yeah, so I carved the edges of it. I'm leaving one side because it says about the bike. I don't see one on the side. Yeah. On one side, I carved the other one out. I just need one side, and then I carved the front side. I'm gonna leave it like it opens, and I gotta put a little zipper, like a bungee on the side that you clip it on the side, and the door closes. Yeah, that will be really cool. Keep the good spirit inside of it. Yeah, that's gonna be for the pogo. I'm gonna leave that inside like the homeless kind of way, because then yeah. Sometimes I can walk that bike without it, and then when I get off the hill, I can put it number 3 gear and just sprint it. Yeah, and then it doesn't. Even if you want to go down the hill, it's going slow. You want to throttle to make it go faster. Yeah, it does have that kind of like a brake pad holding system kind of thing. Yeah, it makes it go slower and slower. Yeah, like you're sprinting, you can let it go and you're still sprinting right beside. That's how fast it's not going too fast. That thing is like a skateboard anyways. Yeah, you get up, leap, and then you stop it, and then you leapfrog back again. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I did that a couple of times going this way when the battery ran away. Yeah, ran down. Yeah, then when he's coming down the hill, yeah, push, and then cruise down. Yeah, veering on the sidewalk. I like the sidewalk. It has a stomp on it. Yeah, it makes it look unique. Demon Girl likes it. Go. It leaps like it's leaping one wheel tire kind of thing. Yeah. This I call it pogo tricycle bike. Yeah, kind of creating in her mind that she's leaping. Yeah, pogo tricycle e-bike. Like yeah, you see those old ones that you put your both leg and then just jumping kind of thing on it. Yeah, kind of stuff. You see what time it is right now? 10:56. 8 a.m. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, let's go do these ones here. Yeah, right by close by each other. It's not a bad distance. We can take this force with us, yeah. Which side is it? Yeah, this one. Let's go this side. I need to get this way. Let's go this way because it goes down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that. somewhere down here. Okay, somewhere down here. Yeah, same guy there. Somewhere here. Here. Oh, it's the square. Another map. Oh, that the other one? Oh, that's the wild one. That's the legendary, not the one. That one would be. Oh, that the other hand one kind of thing. Dakota, East, Southern, Cumberland, Column, double, Citadel, something. All these ones. I know I didn't read the Cumberland Forest, Renanock, and then Watson, all these, and River Bend. Okay, let's go for the. We want something for the outside. That's it. Fossil was like, yeah, those dinosaurs, those bones before. Yeah, we didn't get this one. This is the new one right here. Yeah, this one here. Let's just do the other ones first. Let's just do the fossil part and then. Yeah, this is just activating the. Then go to map, and then you can see. Okay, there's two here, and there's one here. And by the one just up the other side of the river. Okay, when you come this way. This one's right at the very top. You see with that? See the oh, she's up here. Hey, that was there before. Yeah, you have to go up way up the hill. Yeah, we were there up there. Yeah, little hill. Just up there. She's back up on that side, madam. We didn't need to go now. We don't get much for maybe later on. Now we got more options because when you loot the accessory that you guys didn't say to loot, yeah, that's the one we get more currency. Yeah, that's the one. Or else we will just have to figure out to get more currency. You have to think about it. Either you choose that. Yeah, you have to protest like a within the home kind of way. Yeah, and with the other. Yeah, say you have to choose. Yeah, like we want the game to be game, and then outside different within looting kind of thing. Yeah, like that. Because you guys are not. But in the community they hold up pretty good. But it just when someone else clutters it because they're saying it because there's people living within the other continent. Yeah, someone else, leapfrog it, and then they all want to go with it. And they're looking for a code to do that one time to it, and then they don't think which is to let them root it in the game. It's better to do it out. Yeah, I'm doing the back. Mine's different. Yeah, those ones have to stay because or else we're taking care of it. They want to keep it as natural that it is. That the haunting thing is gonna come back and haunt you. Just like that one says it. Yeah, that one says it will haunt you, come back again. Yeah, see, that's the thing. They be careful with all stuff. If they want to be trusted, that you don't need to come back. You have to have it down self. Yeah, you get it and then. This one. Yeah, we need to go for the pelt one. Yeah, we need to go. This one's too far this side. Yeah, we want that one. We could have searched the pelt. Yeah, wait. Yeah, that one we could have searched the pelt. What kind of pelts it gives in that area? But we're not gonna just go to the other one. The next one we'll search it closer to the base camp and see what it is. If we go further and then you might as well get that. Yeah, exactly. Crystals and whatever comes within that same cat. Mine is like the previous. Mine is whatever you do. Let's go pop one more. Let's go pop one more cat. One cat pop and then. Now we should be okay. Yeah, that path was lower. Now we should get right into the... When it gets too narrow, then we can pause. But you have to stay above that here. You have to know start going back down here. It's a Pierce camp here. Yeah, it's the Pierce camp right here. Yeah, this is the... You go right beside it. Oh, there's a trail here. There's a trail here. There's a trail here. Just open it. Oh! So then you can't make it up that hill. Can you get up that hill? I need to get the center of it. I'm too far. There's a hill. Oh! Yeah, what a... Oh, we were this way. Our kill is somewhere here. Oh, we might look. Oh, it's on the other side there. Yep, okay, right here. can't see if you're not in the see if we get the health or we don't get it. No, we lose it. We lost the prospect. It's somewhere here. Right here. Oh no, here's somewhere. Okay, no, yeah. Yes, I think it was a bit more further here. Somewhere here. Yeah, about 3 hours in there. Yeah. Oh, that's that. Yeah, that's only the GT5 one. Yeah, that one mostly was for the GT5. Now I got it into this one. I think this is the one that only has it. Other one doesn't. We can go to here. Just go to gas. Yeah, and get that password. Yeah, that. Yeah, this only one has that. Yeah, we got to look at it. And then you pull it a little bit and then to the left. Just over here, there's a heavy opportunity.
Oh, that smell. That witch Harriet sprayed you with one of her potions, didn't she?
It's a portion.
Nice hat.
Yeah, she's...
All right, what have you got?
The heart didn't work out for something. Yes.
How many of those have you got?
That's for the ammos.
Sure, why not?
I don't have to check what this was. This is for something too. Yeah, crafting, used for crafting something.
Yeah, I get a lot of these. Okay, I'll take it.
buy something on this one. Let's see.
Okay then, let's take a look.
Oh no, not that one. It's the triangle then. It's legendary. Oh, these are all carcasses. Oh, perfect. Yeah, these are all perfect carcasses. There's nothing good, but we're just giving it just to be sure that it comes out good or otherwise not. Oh, this is a pelt. What is this a pelt?
I only use the best, I only sell the
Even it's
best.
a pelt. What is this other one? Oh, there's some other pelts in here too. Hide. Yeah, there's some pelts and some hide. We should do the carcasses or do the pelts, whatever we get. I guess we could do it
I
for
pride
now.
myself on
but
the
later, I don't
quality
know
product.
how that can work out. Yeah, these are pelts. Perfect buck. Thank you. We sold it. When you sell it, it goes into that one. We need one more beaver teeth. Yeah, this one later on.
Smell that mountain air. Is it any wonder my appetite is so healthy when I'm out this way?
I think this is the one. These are the stuff. Only 3 items we got. You have to come to her. Come to him, not yeah.
Hope to see you again.
They do some delivery kind of thing. Just like the moon shack. It probably might help the moon shack one too because they deliver food. They will come in the opposite direction. This stuff is good. You can get more currency out of it. Although this is not a game currency, it's just a game currency.
I got to say thanks for that last job, if I haven't said it already.
Oh, you got.
This is just the thing. Wagon train on the way to, Blackwater. Short a few hired guns, and I thought you could step in. Money's good, and I feel you're more than capable. Want to go and take a look at it? Come on.
Go! Yeah, bro.
This place sure makes sore eyes feel favorable again.
Come on now, giddy up.
I just... Shit! For the love of God! You're done for! The hell with you! Yeah. You're dead! Shit like this always happens. Oh, shit!
Come on. Damn.
They're evading us, all right? I can't wait to get right out. Yeah.
Oh. This one white. Let's get this one there. Let's get this one there and come back.
I'll take your ears.
Shoot! They shoot me, they're shooting. Back and forth. It's okay. Let's get the horse back. Come on, let's go.
Not like death, are you?
Take a little shortcut because we lost a ton of time here. We're heading right for the track right here. Not the track, the trail. On the track that you have for a little bit more confidence. I think the trail is there you go, and then you should now for a little while. Okay.
Yeah.
Go for a ride. See if you have to go one more round. No, that's not. Let's go to here. Sell some of the meats. So neighbors say that I like to order to sign a and then there was a boy steps. So what are you talking about? Someone else does say that. Yeah, someone's up, I think a pub or someone is with them. That's okay. Could be the other thing. Okay, here's of course somewhere here. Oh, it's plastic.
Dime a dozen these days.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about selling that no more. Yeah,
Okay.
We got a ticket kind of
Done
on it, so that would, yeah, we need to get that other thing. Let's start one. That one is the, yeah, the American symbol's the star? Yeah, that one. Okay, let's see. This one just fills up the
Pleasure doing
gap
it.
that we missed, the currency losing. Yeah, so this will take currency. Let's see. Now let me move a little bit further away. Because what's happened, let me just mark it first. We'll do the bounty hunting some other time. Now I want to get the currency, but I'm not doing too fast. Oh, we can go to here, because we're on this side.
Why the hell you can't?
We're gonna run right into us. The bounty was somewhere here.
The blazes do you think you're doing?
more, then you can able to push it. Yeah, I didn't have that. Okay, he's here somewhere. Oh, get it. Good one. Yeah. Far away. We moved too far. Moved far. Yeah. I think we took a run a little too quick. Yeah. Then it was. If it runs, then it just keeps on going. Yeah. It's somewhere here. We're doing the nature one. The pelt is still there. The pelt is going to keep us stuff. I heard something, a little bit stronger sound in it, but it's not pop. Looks like it's going to be a pop right below. It's the river down there. We like eggs. other one. We're just missing out the other stuff. Some other accessory for cooking too. Yeah, 11:40. Let's go toward the camp. Let's activate another one. Oh, that one. All the good pulse is good. Coins? I think let's see. Let's go for the coins. Not too far from that. Oh, the coin. Oh no, that's this side. Yeah, I'll be there in a minute. Yeah, close door. I'll be there. Yeah. Oh yeah, we can fill that much we can fill here. Then we'll get the cougar one over here. I'm not gonna do stuff like this. That one should.
Stocks are looking good.
Hey, cougar. Let's just fill this one up for a bit that much. Caught up with a little bit of the line, just a little bit more. The line, not the line. go. Here we go. No, they're not reminding. Their phone is in the lobby. Yeah, those are phonies. That thing tells that story, that the green shield thing. Yeah, see that one. See, we told him already in this, guys. We're not gonna type it down on it. We need to pronounce that one. Yeah, say it out. And then we're gonna say, yeah, that's correct. We don't want to go into those things, right?
Just thinking, it's been years now since I slept with 4 walls around me. And even longer with 4 walls and a roof. But I've never been happier.
Yeah, see, you're in, you're boiling tea. Yeah, because you'll be, you see, it's some kind of thing. Yeah, headband is okay. The headband. You're supposed to, yeah, you're supposed to carry it. Yeah, you're supposed to carry the took. You have to carry it. Not to carry the, yeah, carry the took. Yeah, you carry that, they'll beat the crap out of you kind of thing. See what he's saying? Everything goes to demon, yeah.
Ozone, amidst the chaos, tucked into a shadowy booth at the edge of the diner, a girl no older than 12 sat, her gaze fixed on the rim of the steaming drink cradled between her hands. She wore a patchwork exosuit, her arms adorned with metallic enhancements, gleaming with faint circuitry. Her auburn hair was tied back with an intricate wire braid that shimmered faintly under the flickering light. Across from her, the table trembled as a towering creature lowered its clawed hand, the thud of talons echoing through the din. Its scales shimmered, refracting light like polished obsidian, and its golden eyes locked onto her with a predatory glint. It was unmistakably draconic, a creature from a species whispered about in smugglers, alleys, and pirate dens, a Drexathian warlord, no less. It wore a battered harness that hinted at countless battles, its chest plate scarred with plasma burns. The creature's voice rumbled, each word deliberate and dangerously low. "You are not what I expected, human." The girl, unflinching, tilted her head slightly, a sly smirk tugging at the corner of her lips. Her response was measured, almost casual. "Neither are you. Last I checked, Drexathians didn't make deals in public places." The warlord's nostrils flared, steam curling from them as it leaned closer, its angular jaw inches from her face. "I make exceptions for anomalies, and you, child, are an anomaly." For a moment, the girl didn't respond. Her gloved fingers traced the edge of her drink, and she glanced around. The room buzzed with the ambient noise of beings haggling, arguing, and eating. To the untrained eye, she looked vulnerable, just another scavenger kid in a galaxy of opportunists. But subtle clues gave her away to those who knew where to look. The precision of her movements, the barely audible hum of concealed weaponry within her exosuit, and the way she seemed to absorb the room in a single sweep of her eyes. "Let's skip the theatrics," she said finally, leaning back and placing her boots on the edge of the table. "You want a job done, or you wouldn't be here. So tell me, what's worth dragging a Drexathian warlord out of his cave?" The creature's claws tightened on the mug it held, the metal groaning under the pressure. "A heist, one that requires precision and deniability," she interjected, raising an eyebrow. "You want someone disposable," the warlord chuckled, a sound like grinding stone. "I want someone invisible. The Federation has been hunting your kind ever since the siege of Nyreth. You are young enough, small enough, to slip through their blind spots." Her smirk widened. "You're well informed for a pirate." The warlord's eyes narrowed. "I've read the dossiers. Mercenary 412. Or should I say, Kira Anzai." The mention of her name barely elicited a reaction, but her fingers tensed, gripping the edge of her chair. "Impressive. Still, I'd appreciate it if you kept my name off the lips of your crew. You Drexathians aren't exactly known for discretion." "Then agree to the job," the warlord growled, "and I'll keep your secrets." Kira leaned forward, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "What are we stealing?" The warlord's answer was barely audible, drowned by the sudden burst of laughter from a group of insectoid travelers nearby. But Kira heard it, and her expression changed. Not fear, but a calculated stillness. "You're joking." The Drexathian leaned back, a slow, toothy grin spreading across its face. "Do I look like I joke?" The target was the Cronus Shard, an ancient artifact said to distort time itself. Housed deep within a Federation vault on Vistral Prime, the Shard was guarded by layers of security that made most galactic prisons look like daycare centers. Retrieving it was suicide, even for seasoned mercenaries. Kira stared at her drink, the steam rising like ghosts of her thoughts. She could almost hear her father's voice, a gruff bark from years ago. "You don't survive by being brave, Kira. You survive by being smart." But bravery and recklessness had always been a fine line for her. "I'll need 2 things, she said, finally breaking the silence. "First, upfront payment. Half now, half when the job's done." The warlord nodded, producing a small device and sliding it across the table. She scanned it with her neural implant, confirming the amount. Her eyebrows shot up. He was paying in pre-collapse credits, currency so rare it could buy entire starships. "And the second?" he asked. She smiled, leaning forward. "You stay out of my way." Minutes later, Kira was on the move, her steps purposeful as she left the diner. The warlord's hulking form followed her into the station's labyrinth of corridors, its wings tucked tightly against its back to avoid the low ceilings. She led him to Docking Bay 47, where a small, unassuming ship waited, a sleek black vessel known as the Shadow Wraith. The warlord paused, its gaze sweeping over the ship. "That's your ride?" Kira smirked, typing a series of codes into the ship's console. The engines roared to life, humming with power far beyond what its size suggested. "Don't let the size fool you. The Wraith has more tricks than your entire fleet." The warlord muttered something in his native tongue. Climbing aboard, the interior was cramped, a single cockpit with barely enough room for 2. Kira slid into the pilot's seat, her fingers dancing across the controls. "Strap in," she said without looking back. "This is going to be a bumpy ride." The first leg of their journey was relatively uneventful, slipping past Federation patrols, using the Wraith's advanced cloaking tech. But as they approached Vistral Prime, tension crackled in the air. Kira brought up a holographic map, highlighting the Federation Vault's defenses, triple redundant shields, automated turrets, and a security force trained to neutralize Drexathians on sight. "You weren't kidding about this being high stakes," the warlord growled. "Do you doubt me?" "Not at all," she said, spinning her chair to face him. "But I do doubt your ability to improvise. Drexathians aren't exactly known for subtlety, and humans aren't known for surviving encounters with my kind." He shot back, baring his fangs. Kira laughed, the sound light and genuine. "Touché." Their banter was interrupted by a sudden alert. The Wraith's sensors picked up a fleet of Federation ships patrolling the sector. Kira's hands flew over the controls, activating the cloaking field and cutting the ship's power to avoid detection. "Quiet," she whispered, as if the warships could hear them. The next few minutes felt like hours as the fleet passed dangerously close. Kira held her breath, her fingers hovering over the controls. The warlord, despite its massive frame, remained unnervingly still. Finally, the danger passed, and Kira exhaled sharply. "Well, that was fun." "Define fun," the warlord rumbled. Kira grinned, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Stick around. You'll see." Their infiltration of Vistral Prime began under the cover of night, the planet's surface illuminated by twin moons. Kira and the warlord slipped through the perimeter, using a combination of her tech expertise and his brute strength to bypass obstacles. But as they approached the inner vault, the situation escalated. An alarm blared, and automated turrets descended from the ceiling. Kira dove behind cover, her heart pounding as plasma bolts rained down. This was supposed to be the easy part, she shouted over the noise. The warlord roared, unleashing a torrent of fire from his claws that melted one of the turrets. "And you call yourself a mercenary?" Kira rolled her eyes, hacking into a nearby console. "Just keep them busy." As the warlord held off the defenses, Kira worked quickly, her neural implant interfacing with the vault systems. Finally, the last barrier fell, and the vault door slid open with a resounding hiss. Inside, The Cronus shard hovered within a containment field, its surface shimmering like liquid starlight. Kira approached cautiously, her hand trembling slightly as she reached for the artifact. But as her fingers brushed against its surface, a shockwave erupted, throwing her and the warlord back. The shard pulsed with energy, and suddenly, reality itself seemed to fracture. The shockwave from the Cronus shard surged through the vault, twisting the fabric of reality. Kira tumbled back, the edges of her vision warped, the world around her momentarily unrecognizable. She clutched her chest, struggling to catch her breath as the Drexathian warlord, barely phased by the blast, rose to its feet with a guttural growl. What was that? She managed, her voice unsteady. The shard floated in place, but its previously serene shimmer had transformed into a chaotic storm of colors, each pulse sending ripples through the air like distorted heat waves. It was alive, or at least behaving like it. The warlord's golden eyes locked onto it, his jaw tightening. "You triggered it," he rumbled. "The shard isn't just an artifact, it's a weapon." Kira's mind raced, piecing together the implications. A weapon? No, that wasn't right. The Federation's obsession with protecting it, the whispers in mercenary circles about its true purpose. This was something far worse. She staggered to her feet, staring at the Drexathian. "You knew this would happen." The warlord didn't deny it. "I suspected. The shard manipulates time, disrupts causality. The Federation fears it because it could undo them. Every victory, every advance, wiped from existence." Kira's hands balled into fists. "And you thought bringing it to me was a good idea? What's your plan? Sell it? Use it to rewrite history?" "I plan to survive," the warlord said bluntly, "and I suggest you do the same." The vault began to shake. The shard's energy radiated outward, its pulses growing stronger. Alarms blared as the Federation's security systems scrambled to contain the disturbance. Kira glanced at the holographic map on her wrist. Shield barriers were activating across the facility, locking them in. "Survive, great plan," she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Except for the part where we're trapped in a collapsing time vortex," the warlord growled again, this time with irritation. "I brought you here because you're supposed to be the best. Prove it." Kira shot him a glare, but turned her attention to the shard. Her neural implants scanned it, flooding her mind with fragmented data. The shard's energy signatures were unlike anything she'd as if it were trying to exist in multiple states at once. And then it hit her. The shard wasn't a weapon. It was a failsafe. Her fingers flew over the console embedded in her exosuit, decrypting the shard's containment matrix. Each line of code revealed more of its purpose. It wasn't designed to destroy, but to preserve. The shard stored timelines, entire realities, like a cosmic backup drive. But something had corrupted it. The moment she touched it, her presence disrupted its balance, and now it was unraveling the stored timelines, forcing them to collide. If it continued, the cascading effects would tear through the fabric of the galaxy. "Okay, bad news first," she said, not looking up from her work. "This thing is basically a Pandora's box of timelines, and we just cracked it open." "And the good news," the warlord growled, his claws flexing anxiously. "I'm working on it." The warlord let out a low snarl, but he held his ground as Kira's interface mapped the shard's internal structure. She could see the pathways, the points of divergence, where timelines splintered and rejoined. But there was one thread, a central axis that seemed untouched by the chaos. "Of course," she muttered under her breath. "Every system has a root command." "What does that mean?" the warlord demanded. "It means," Kira said, her tone sharp, "if I can access the shard's core, I can stabilize it. But I'll need you to keep those turrets off my back while I do it." As if on cue, the vault's automated defenses sprang to life, plasma cannons descending from the ceiling. The warlord didn't hesitate, unleashing a torrent of fire from his claws that melted one turret before it could fire. He charged another, his massive frame a whirlwind of destruction. Kira dove toward the shard, her exosuit servos humming as she moved. She extended a thin cable from her wrist, connecting it to the shard's containment field. The moment the link was established, her mind was flooded with images, fragmented glimpses of alternate realities. She saw herself as a Federation officer, a scavenger on a desert world, even a prisoner aboard a Drexathian warship. The visions threatened to overwhelm her, but she forced herself to focus. She followed the central thread, navigating the shard's chaotic labyrinth. It was like untangling a knot of impossibilities, each twist and turn revealing another layer of complexity. The warlord's roar snapped her back to reality. He was pinned against the wall, a plasma turret bearing down on him. Kira cursed under her breath, her hand flying to her hip. She pulled a small device, a grenade-like EMP, and hurled it toward the turret. It detonated in a burst of blue light, disabling the weapon and freeing the warlord. "Next time," he snarled, "aim faster. Next time, don't get caught," she shot back, returning to the shard. She was close now, the core's structure coming into focus. It wasn't just a mechanism. It was a living entity, a quantum consciousness designed to maintain the balance between timelines. But the corruption was spreading, its tendrils eating away at the core like a virus. Kira's jaw tightened. She could fix it, but it would require a hard reset. A full wipe of the corrupted data, and that meant erasing every timeline the Shard had ever preserved. Her mind raced. The Federation had gone to extreme lengths to protect the Shard, which meant they believed its stored timelines were worth saving. But if she hesitated, the corruption would spread beyond the Shard, consuming the galaxy itself. "Kira!" the warlord barked. "What are you waiting for?" She clenched her fists, her decision made. "This is going to hurt." Kira triggered the reset protocol, her neural implant linking directly to the Shard's core. The surge of energy was immediate and brutal, sending a shockwave through her body. She screamed, her vision blurring as the Shard's consciousness fused with her own. The warlord turned, his eyes wide as the Shard's light enveloped her. "What are you doing?" "Fixing your mess," she gasped, her voice strained. Through the connection, Kira saw the Shard's memories, eons of timelines stored and forgotten. She felt the weight of their existence, the lives and choices that had been preserved, and then she felt them vanish, one by one, as the reset purged the corruption. But as the last fragment faded, a new thread emerged. It was her own timeline, her choices and actions anchoring the Shard's core. She had become the failsafe, her consciousness entwined with the Shard's. The energy subsided, and Kira collapsed to her knees. The Shard's glow dimmed, its chaotic pulses replaced by a steady rhythm. The vault fell silent. The warlord approached cautiously, his massive form casting a shadow over her. "Is it done?" Kira looked up, her face pale but determined. "It's stable, for now. And you?" he asked, his tone softer than before. She smirked weakly. "Still here, mostly." The warlord studied her for a moment before nodding. "You've earned your payment. Keep it," she said, pushing herself to her feet. "I've got bigger problems now." As they exited the vault, the Federation's reinforcements arrived, their weapons drawn. Kira held up her hands, the Shard's faint glow still visible in her palm. "Stand down," she said, her voice steady. "The Shard is secure." The officers hesitated, their gazes shifting between her and the Drexathian. Finally, one of them lowered their weapon. "What about the corruption?" "Gone," Kira said. "But the Shard isn't what you think it is. It's not a weapon. It's a lifeline." The officer frowned. "What are you saying?" Kira glanced at the warlord, then back at the Federation forces. "I'm saying you don't need to fear it anymore, but you'd better learn to respect it." Without another word, she turned and walked away, the warlord following close behind. As they reached the shadow wraith, Kira paused, her gaze distant. "What happens now?" the warlord asked. Kira looked at him, a faint smile playing on her lips. "Now, I keep flying, because someone has to make sure this thing doesn't fall into the wrong hands again." The warlord chuckled, a deep, rumbling sound. "You're an anomaly, human, and you're a pain in the ass," she shot back, climbing into the pilot's seat. "But thanks for the backup." As the shadow wraith lifted off, disappearing into the stars, the galaxy shifted, subtly, imperceptibly, but undeniably. The Shard's influence had been contained, its power now tied to the girl who had dared to defy fate itself, and for the first time in a long while, the galaxy was quiet. The end.
The station drifted silently in the vastness of space, a forgotten relic of an older war, long abandoned by most of the galaxy except for a few scavengers pirates, and the occasional wanderer. Its lights flickered erratically in the distance, giving off an eerie glow that contrasted with the cold, dark emptiness. Surrounding it, the air inside was thick with the scent of rust and old machinery. Lyra slipped through the shadowed hallways, barely making a sound, her footsteps muffled against the metallic floor. She had come to this forsaken place, not by accident, but by design. Her mission was simple: find the target, neutralize them, take what was necessary, and leave no trace. She moved like a ghost, her small frame allowing her to squeeze through vents and crawl spaces too tight for most adults. The flickering lights above her only served to make the shadows deeper around her. She was on her own, no backup, no team, just her and her instincts. Lyra knew the station had been claimed by a notorious band of pirates, led by Rockor, the pirate dragon, a name that sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to cross him. They had been hunting something valuable, but Lyra knew they had something else here that was worth far more. She had her reasons for being there, and those reasons had nothing to do with treasure. She reached the central hub of the station. Her target was somewhere ahead. The soft hum of energy systems and the occasional hiss of old pipes filled the silence. She paused, listening for movement ahead, and heard it, the unmistakable growl of Raker. His voice thundered through the corridors as he barked orders to his crew. He was here on the station, looking for something, but Lyra didn't care what he sought. She had a job to do, and nothing was going to stand in her way. Her eyes narrowed as she observed the pirate dragon's crew. They were unlike any soldiers she had encountered before, fierce and brutal. Their eyes gleamed with greed and malice. But they underestimated her. They would learn quickly that Lyra was no ordinary child. She was trained for this life. Her father had taught her everything she needed to know, and she had survived every trial put before her. If she was still alive, it was because she had learned to be ruthless, to be swift, and above all to be smarter than anyone who thought they could defeat her. She took a deep breath and exhaled slowly, slipping her blaster from its holster. She had made her way into the heart of the station, undetected so far, but now she would have to move fast. Time was not on her side. The pirates would be searching for her soon. They had no idea who they were up against. She moved again, her body blending seamlessly into the shadows as she made her way toward the docking bay, where she would find what she was looking for, and where Raker's crew would become her prey, unaware of the storm that was about to descend upon them. Lyra's heart raced as she crept through the dimly lit hallways. The distant sound of footsteps echoed faintly in the quiet. Quickly, or risk being caught before she could finish her mission. The pirates had underestimated her, but that wouldn't last for long. She had planned for this moment. But the danger was real. Raker's crew was vicious, and if they discovered who she truly was, they wouldn't hesitate to kill her. But Lyra wasn't scared. She had faced worse odds and come out victorious. She had something the pirates didn't have: speed and precision. Her small frame gave her an advantage. She knew how to disappear in plain sight and how to strike without warning. She was silent, like a shadow, a predator waiting for the right moment to strike it. As she slipped into another corridor, she overheard voices up ahead. The pirates were close, and from the sounds of it, they had already found the area where she had been hiding. They were talking among themselves about capturing her, taking her as a prisoner. She bit her lip but remained calm. She knew she had to act fast. They would be looking for her soon. She took a sharp turn and ducked into a nearby room where she could access a control panel. Her fingers flew over the interface as she tapped in the code she had stolen earlier from the station's mainframe. This would buy her the time she needed to slip past them. Without a trace, the station's security systems buzzed to life. In response to her commands, the hallways outside started to flood with red lights, and alarms blared throughout the station. It wasn't enough to cause panic, but it was enough to create confusion. She smiled to herself as she heard the pirates scrambling in the distance. No one was focused on her now. They were distracted, and that was exactly what she needed. She used the moment to slip past the guards, who were now fumbling to regain control of the station. The sound of boots stomping echoed in her ears as she moved swiftly through the narrow passage for another sweep of the station. But Lyra had no intention of being caught. She was almost there. She reached the docking. The doors to the bay hissed open. She could already see their silhouettes coming into view. Rucker's crew unaware of what was about to hit them. The moment the docking bay doors slid open, Lyra moved faster than a thought, her small body slipping into the shadows like a whisper. She knew the pirates were close. She could hear their heavy boots and their low growls echoing through the cavernous space. They were talking amongst themselves. Their leader, Rigor, was barking orders, as sure of themselves that they couldn't even imagine a human child could be their equal. Lyra's pulse quickened. She was close, so close to finishing her mission. But Rigor and his crew were dangerously near. She could feel the tension rising in the air. She had to act fast or risk losing the advantage. They wouldn't stop hunting her. Once they realized who she truly was, she waited until the last pirate passed before slipping silently behind him. Her movements were fluid, graceful, like a predator on the hunt. The pirate turned just in time to catch a glimpse of her, but by then it was too late. She had already disabled his weapon in one swift motion and had him in a chokehold. Before he could make a sound, the man struggled, but Lyra tightened her grip, her small hands pressing against his throat until his body went limp. She let him fall to the floor with barely a sound, then quickly moved to hide his body in a nearby storage crate. The pirate dragon and his crew were not going to find their prize so easily. Lyra could hear Rocker's deep voice resonating across the bay, now his anger growing as the search for her became more frantic. She could tell he was getting impatient. He didn't like being made to look foolish, and she knew that his pride would make him more dangerous than ever. He'd be coming for her soon. But that was exactly what she wanted. She had studied the layout of the station and knew exactly where to strike. If she wanted to take down Rocker, she had already planned for every contingency. Now it was time to put that plan into motion. She moved again, slinking from shadow to shadow, silently making her way toward the heart of the docking bay, where Rocker's ship loomed large and imposing in the darkness. She couldn't afford to let him get any closer to finding her target. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about sending a message. She would not be underestimated. The crew was now scattered, and Rigor was shouting at them to regroup. He was losing control, and that made him dangerous. Lyra had to make her move before the situation escalated any further. She darted across the open space towards the large cargo crates stacked near the ship, using them as cover as she prepared for the final confrontation. The pirates were now closing in, but they were no match for her strategy. They didn't know how she moved, how she thought. They would never understand what made her different. Lyra felt the heat rise in her chest. She was ready, and she was going to win. The room was quiet now, too quiet, as Lyra moved between shadows. Her every step calculated. The sound of Rocker's crew searching became fainter. They were scattered, no longer working together. Some had given up on looking for her, while others were more determined to find her. But none of them knew where she was. None of them knew that she was right under their noses. She could hear them muttering to each other, cursing and threatening each other. They were getting frustrated. They hadn't anticipated someone like her. They were used to easy prey, people who cowered in fear when they saw the size of their weapons, the brutality of their captain. But Lyra didn't fear them. She was patient, and she was smart. They were walking into her traps. One by one, she moved quickly now, darting from cover to cover. Her small form, almost invisible in the dark. She could hear Rocker's voice growing louder. He was getting closer to her. He was starting to figure out that something wasn't right, that his crew was falling apart. It wasn't just about capturing a child anymore. He was angry. He was dangerous. Lyra knew this, but she was ready for him. When she saw the group of pirates rounding the corner, she didn't hesitate. She stepped out from her hiding place, and in one fluid motion she threw a grenade into their midst. The explosion was deafening, but Lyra was already gone before the smoke even cleared. She was back in the shadows, watching the chaos Unfold, the pirates screamed in pain and fear. Some were thrown to the ground, others were caught in the blast. But they were all disoriented and panicked just the way Lyra wanted it. She moved again, this time toward the center of the room, where Rocker's ship stood looming like a monster in the darkness. She was getting closer now. She could see his silhouette near the ship, his large form moving with the slow, deliberate pace of a predator. He was looking for her. He was focused, but he was also vulnerable. He was too sure of himself, too confident. Lyra knew she had to end this now. She had no intention of letting him escape this time. She crept closer to the ship, her breath steady. She had studied every inch of this place. She knew exactly where he was going to be. She took her time, making sure every step was silent. The pirates were recovering from the blast, but Raykor was still too focused on finding her. He wasn't expecting her to strike. When he did, she slipped from the shadows, and before he could react, she was on him. She jumped onto his back, her legs wrapping around his massive frame. Before he could shake her off, she slammed a knife into the side of his neck, the blade sinking deep into his scales. She twisted it quickly, and Raykor roared in pain. But Lyra didn't stop. She kept pressing until the struggle slowed his massive body, falling to the ground with a thud. Lyra stood over him, breathing hard. She looked down at the pirate dragon, his eyes wide with shock and fury. But she wasn't done yet. He would never threaten the station again. Lyra stood over Raykor, her blade still buried in his neck. She could feel the heat of his blood soaking into her gloves, his massive form twitching as his life drained away. The pirate dragon's eyes were wide with shock and rage, but they were fading, his breaths slow and shallow as he gasped for air. His crew had been decimated one by one. They had fallen. And now here he was on his knees. Before her, the great terror of the stars, brought low by a child. She had done it. She had finished the job. But even in his death throes, Raykor managed to grin, his lips curling into a sneer. Lyra watched him carefully, her grip tight on the handle of her blade. She wasn't about to make the mistake of underestimating him again. The pirate dragon let out a low chuckle, a cough that sent fresh blood spilling from his mouth. It was clear that he wasn't going to die. Quietly, his body trembling as the last of his strength began to slip away. But in that moment, Lyra saw it, the glint of something in his eyes, a hint of recognition, and a flash of something darker. It was then that she realized Raykor had no intention of dying here, not like this. He was waiting for something in the shadows just behind her. Her instincts flared, and she spun around faster than she had ever moved before, just as a shot rang out, a blinding flash of light streaking through the air. But she was already gone, already behind cover. As the energy blast hit the ground where she had just been standing, she glanced quickly toward the source of the attack. There stood the last remaining member of Rocker's crew, a hulking figure with a massive rifle. The pirate had been waiting for the right moment to strike, waiting for Raykor to go down so he could take her out instead of the captain. He had his weapon raised, his eyes narrowed in focus as he prepared for another shot. But Lyra was already moving again, faster than the eye could follow. Her blaster was in her hand, and she fired without hesitation. The shot hit the pirate square in the chest, his body jerking backward before collapsing to the floor in a heap. Lyra didn't wait to see if he was dead. She turned back to Raykor. The pirate dragon was still breathing, but barely. She was running out of time. She had to finish it. The pirates had failed. They had all failed. But the station was still a target. The damage had been done. The ship was still in working order. And the mission wasn't over, not yet. She moved quickly, retrieving a small device from her belt and attaching it to the hull of Rocker's ship. It was a tracker one that would send a signal to the fleet within moments, calling them here to finish the job. She didn't want to be here any longer than necessary. She was done with this place. The pirates had made their last mistake. She turned her back on Raykor as he sputtered, trying to speak. But he had no more strength to fight. She didn't care what he said or what he thought. The only thing that mattered was getting out of here alive. She knew they would come for her, but they wouldn't get to her, not before she was gone. She had her exit plan. The mission was complete, and the galaxy would never forget who had taken down Raykor and his crew, the mercenary girl who had done what no one else could. Lyra moved quickly now. The sounds of Rocker's crew and their dying leader faded into the background. Her mission was clear, but there was still one final obstacle. The ship was secure, But the station wasn't. She had to get to the hangar bay and escape before reinforcements arrived. She could already feel the vibrations in the floor, the faint tremors that told her the pirate fleet was nearby. They were on their way, and they would be coming fast. Lyra didn't hesitate. She ran through the dark hallways of the station, her footsteps echoing against the metal walls, the lights flickering above her as she passed. She could hear the distant sounds of alarms blaring now. The station was on high alert, but she didn't care. Her exit was close. She could almost feel the cold air of the hangar bay against her face. She would make it out. She had no choice. The corridor ahead of her was empty for now, but she didn't trust it. She kept her gun at the ready, her senses sharp, just waiting for anything to go wrong. She knew better than to think she was safe, yet the pirates weren't the only ones who could track her. The station's security was still intact. They had their own patrols, their own forces, and they would stop at nothing to catch her if they saw her, but Lyra was faster. She always had been. She turned a corner and ducked into an alcove. Just as a group of station guards came into view, they were marching in sync, their weapons at the ready, their eyes scanning every inch of the corridor. They didn't see her. They never would. She held her breath, keeping as still as possible. Her pulse was steady despite the tension. The guards passed by without a second glance, and she moved again, slipping into the shadows and out of sight. Just as they continued their patrol, her mind was already a few steps ahead, calculating the next move, and the one after that. She was almost there. She reached the hangar bay doors and slowed her pace. The heavy metal door was locked, but that wasn't a problem for her. She keyed in the override code she had stolen earlier, and the door hissed open, revealing the vast space beyond the hangar was empty for now. But she didn't let her guard down. She stepped inside the cold metal floor. Beneath her feet, the sound of her boots reverberating in the quiet space. She was almost free. She made her way toward the far side of the hangar, where her small ship was waiting for her. The sleek black hull glimmered in the dim light. It was nothing special, but it would get her out of here. It would get her away from the pirates and the station and out into the deep quiet of space. She hurried toward it, her fingers brushing over the controls as she activated the engines. The low hum of power surged through the ship, and she felt a rush of relief, her heart slowing now that she was almost safe. But even as the engines roared to life, she could still hear the sounds of the station's alarms, blaring louder and louder. They had to know what was happening. They would be coming for her soon. But it didn't matter now. She had already won. She had already completed her mission. Rakor was dead, and his crew was no more. The galaxy would know her name, the mercenary girl who had taken down the pirate dragon and left the rest of them in her wake. Lyra's hands were steady as she guided the ship out of the hangar bay. She could feel the pull of the station's gravity trying to hold her back. But she wasn't going to be caught, not now, not after everything she had done. The engines hummed steadily beneath her feet as the small vessel shot forward into the emptiness of space. The station grew smaller and smaller in the viewports until it was nothing more than a distant speck in the vastness of the universe behind her. But she didn't look back. There was no reason to look back. She had completed her mission in Rakor, and his crew were gone. There was nothing left for her on that station. No more enemies to face, no more fights to win. All that mattered now was getting away before the pirate fleet could catch up with her. She had to be smart about this. She couldn't afford to make a mistake. She had learned long ago that there were always consequences to every action, and she didn't want to find out what those consequences might be if she wasn't careful. She activated the cloaking system, and the ship disappeared into the blackness of space. She had been on the run for so long that it felt almost surreal to be alone in the silence for a moment, to just breathe and let her heart slow from the adrenaline that had been pumping through her veins since she first stepped onto the station. It was almost peaceful. The stars outside were distant and beautiful, but she couldn't let herself get lost in them. Not yet, not until she was sure she was safe. She tapped a few buttons on the console, bringing up the star charts and mapping out her escape route. The pirate fleet would be looking for her soon. They would know she was gone. They wouldn't stop hunting her until they found her, but she had a head start, and she knew exactly where she needed to go. She couldn't go back to the mercenary guild, not yet anyway, not until things had calmed down. She had too many enemies, now too many people who would want to see her fail. Her reputation had already spread, and it would only take one slip up for everything to come crashing down around her. She needed to get lost in the outer rim, find somewhere off the grid where no one would look for her. She set her course for a system on the edge of known space, a place where she could hide and lay low for a while. It would be a risk, but it was the only option she had right now. The ship moved smoothly through the dark expanse of space. As she watched the stars streak by, the silence was comforting, but she couldn't allow herself to get too comfortable. Not yet. The pirate fleet would be out there searching for her, and when they found her, they wouldn't hesitate to finish the job. She had to stay ahead of them. But she wasn't worried. She had survived worse. She had always found a way to survive. She adjusted her course and leaned back in her seat, feeling the cool metal of the ship beneath her fingers. For the first time in a long time, she was in control. She had done what she had come to do, and now she was free to move on to whatever came next. The quiet of space was almost unbearable. After everything that had happened, Lyra found herself drifting in it, like a small fish lost in an ocean of stars. The weight of what she had done began to settle on her shoulders, but she pushed it down. The mission was done. Rakor was dead, and his crew was finished. But there was no time to bask in the success, no time to celebrate. She had a plan now, a new mission ahead of her. She didn't know where it would take her, but she was ready for whatever came next. The ship hummed beneath her feet as she piloted it deeper into the outer rim, far from the station and the pirate fleet. She had set her course for a planet on the edge of known space, a place where she could blend and where no one would think to look for her. The small backwater world was known for being a haven for those on the run, a place where fugitives could hide and get lost in the cracks of the galaxy. It was exactly what she needed. But as she approached the system, something in the air changed. Lyra felt it before she saw it, a flicker of something on her sensors, something moving fast, too fast. She tapped a few keys on the console, bringing up the scan results, and her heart skipped a beat. A ship was following her. She hadn't been careful enough. It was a small vessel, but it was fast, and it was closing in fast. She didn't recognize the signature on the sensors, but the feeling in her gut told her this wasn't a coincidence. They had found her. Somehow they had tracked her down, and now she had nowhere to run. She couldn't outpace them. They were too close, and she was too far out in the rim to get any help. She had to think fast. Her mind raced through options, but there were few that would work. She couldn't outrun them, and she couldn't fight them, not with the ship she had. But there was one thing she could do. She adjusted her course sharply and hit the emergency thrusters. The ship jerked forward, and she felt the sudden surge of acceleration push her back into her seat. She was taking a risk, but she had to make sure she lost them before they closed in on her. The ship lurched through the vast emptiness of space, the unknown vessel close behind her like a shadow that refused to let go. She watched the numbers on her screen tick down, the distance closing faster and faster. But Lyra wasn't panicking. She had faced worse odds before. She had always found a way out. She reached for the controls and made another sharp turn this time, sending the ship hurtling toward a nearby asteroid field. It was a dangerous maneuver, but it was her only option now. If she could lose them in the debris, if she could make the ship hard to track long enough, maybe she could shake them off. Maybe she could get back to the plan. But there was no certainty, no guarantee. She just had to hope that her skills were enough. She piloted the ship into the field, weaving between massive rocks and floating debris, her heart pounding in her chest as she navigated the chaotic labyrinth. Behind her, the other ship followed without hesitation, staying close and relentless. Lyra's fingers danced across the controls as she made another evasive move, narrowly missing a large asteroid. The other ship followed close behind, but she could feel it now. The gap was widening just enough for her to slip through. She kept her focus sharp, her breath steady, as she finally cleared the worst of the field. But the feeling of being chased didn't leave her, not yet. She wasn't safe yet. Lyra's hands flew over the controls as she pushed the ship through the asteroid field. She could hear the hum of the engines as they strained under the pressure. She didn't have much time. The unknown ship was still behind her, but the gap was growing slowly. She could hear her heartbeat thudding in her ears. Each turn, each twist she made through the dense field brought her closer to safety. She couldn't afford to make any mistakes, not now. She had survived too much to be caught now. But her eyes never left the view ahead. The floating rocks and debris were all around her. The ship groaned under the sharp turns, but Lyra kept her focus steady, every sense heightened, every muscle tight in anticipation. She knew this wouldn't last long. The other ship was still on her tail. They were gaining ground now, closer and closer. But she wasn't giving up, not yet. She glanced at the sensors and noticed the other ship was no longer firing. They were trying to match her movements, instead trying to keep up with her in the maze of asteroids. She cursed under her breath. They were studying her movements, learning her patterns. They wouldn't stay behind much longer. Soon enough, they'd figure out a way to cut her off. She couldn't let that happen. She made another sharp turn, pushing the ship's engines to their limit. She was throwing herself into the unknown, hoping that the other ship couldn't follow. But as the seconds stretched on, she realized the field was getting thinner. The asteroids weren't as close together, and the debris was starting to thin out. Soon she'd be in open space, and that was the last place she wanted to be, with an unknown ship chasing her. Lyra gritted her teeth and pulled up on the throttle, slamming the ship into a vertical climb, hoping to lose them by getting above the field. But as she did so, she felt a tremor through the ship. The engine stuttered for a moment. Her heart skipped a beat before the power came back online. Her ship was damaged, nothing major, but enough to make her nervous, enough to make her consider every move carefully. She couldn't afford another hit from whatever ship was behind her. Their weapons had to be powerful to keep up with her. But so far, they hadn't shot. Once they hadn't fired at all, it didn't make sense. Something was wrong. And her instincts told her it wasn't over, not by a long shot. As the ship cleared the top of the field, she opened the throttle once again, heading straight into open space, no longer hiding among the asteroids. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was coming, that the chase wasn't just a random pursuit. She couldn't let herself fall into the trap of thinking she was safe. She knew better than that. She scanned the readouts again, the unknown ship still on her tail. The gap was closing and fast. But they weren't firing. Yet why weren't they firing? Lyra checked her weapons systems. Everything was operational. But the other ship hadn't made a move yet. Her mind raced. What was their game plan? Who were they really? She turned the ship hard to port and made a run for the nearby nebula, hoping the clouds of gas and dust would block her signature from the pursuing ship. But as she neared the nebula, the enemy ship was still there, tracking her every move like a shadow that refused to leave. And then she saw it on the readout, the familiar markings on the side of the pursuing vessel. Her heart dropped. She knew exactly who it was, but it didn't make sense. Why would they be here? Lyra's heart raced as she stared at the readout, her mind struggling to comprehend what she was seeing. The markings on the pursuing ship were unmistakable. It was the mercenary guild ship, a flagship no less. But why were they here? Why were they hunting her? Her pulse quickened as memories flashed in front of her. The guild wasn't known for loyalty, not when money was involved. And she had left the guild in less than friendly terms. But she hadn't expected them to come after her like this, not so soon, not with all the trouble they had to know about Rooker and his crew. But the guild's resources were vast, and if they had tracked her this far, they must have had a good reason. She didn't have time to dwell on it. The enemy ship was closing in too fast. It wasn't just one ship either. There were more coming from behind her, from the other side. They had cut off her escape route. They were cornering her like prey. Lyra gritted her teeth and slammed her fist into the console, her mind racing. She had made a mistake. She had been too confident, too careless. They were out to get her. And now they had her right where they wanted her. The sensors flashed again, and she saw the unmistakable silhouette of another ship appearing on her radar. It was too large to miss a dreadnought-class ship, fully armed. She cursed under her breath. The mercenary guild wasn't playing around. They had come for her. With everything they had, they weren't just sending a message. They were sending an army to finish the job. Lyra quickly calculated her odds. She was outnumbered, outgunned, and out of options. Her fingers hovered over the controls, but she didn't hit the button. She didn't make a move. Instead, she leaned back in her seat and let out a slow breath. The panic she felt earlier was gone, now replaced by a sharp calm. She knew she could fight her way out, but it wasn't going to be easy. She needed time to think and time to plan. She wasn't going to give up just because they had the numbers and the firepower. She was smarter than that, and she had made it this far with nothing but her wits and her resolve. She wasn't going to let some mercenaries take her down now. She pulled up the comm system and transmitted a signal. It wasn't in distress, not yet, but a message intended to buy her time, a message that would confuse them long enough for her to think through her next move. She leaned forward as the message went out, her voice calm and steady. When the reply came, it was, as she had expected, cold and demanding. The voice on the other end was one she knew all too well. It was the guild's handler, the one who had always been assigned to oversee her contracts. His voice was low but sharp. Lyra, we have orders to bring you back. You've made a serious mistake. By leaving, you've cost us a lot of money, and we intend to make you pay for it. You're not getting away from us this time. You might as well come quietly before things get worse. Lyra didn't answer at first. She just listened to the voice of someone who thought they had power over her. But she wasn't afraid anymore, not with what she had in mind. Not with the edge of strategy that she had honed all her life. Her hands hovered over the controls once more, and she smiled to herself, a dangerous thought forming in her mind. She wasn't going to run from them anymore. She was going to make them chase her until she had the upper hand. Lyra's mind raced as she listened to the handler's words, each syllable like a tightening knot in her chest. She knew exactly what this meant. The guild wasn't just interested in bringing her back. They wanted to make an example of her. They were out for blood, and they were going to use every resource they had to catch her. But she wasn't going to let that happen. She wasn't going to let them make her the hunted. Not again. She had been down this road before. She had been betrayed by the guild once, and she wasn't going to let it happen a second time. The comms clicked off as the handler's transmission ended. Lyra didn't waste a moment. She went straight to work, her fingers moving over the console, pulling up her tactical options. The enemy ships were still closing in. They hadn't made a move yet, but she knew that wouldn't last long. They were waiting for her to make the first move. She was a mercenary, and they were expecting her to react with fear or panic. But she wasn't going to give them that satisfaction. Instead, she was going to take control of the situation. She activated the ship's cloaking device once more, just as the enemy ships came into range. But this time, she didn't just hide in the darkness. She moved with purpose, carefully calculating her movements, using the asteroid fields nearby to shield her from their sensors. She knew the Dreadnought-class ship would have powerful scanners, but the ship she piloted had been designed for stealth. It was small, fast, and capable of evading detection. When necessary, Lyra took a deep breath and pressed forward into the shadows. She moved in and out of the asteroid field with precision, the ships behind her following. But unable to catch her, they didn't know where she was, or where she was headed. But she knew exactly where she needed to be. She wasn't just escaping anymore. She was setting a trap. She had been trained for this kind of fight her whole life. She knew how to manipulate the battlefield, how to make the enemy play by her rules. She reached for the weapon systems and quickly calibrated them. The enemy had no idea what was coming next. Lyra opened a hidden compartment in the ship's cargo hold and activated a series of small drones. They were fast and maneuverable, the perfect distractions to confuse and mislead the enemy. They would serve as decoys, giving her time to move into position. While they focused on the wrong targets, she launched the drones. One by one, they scattered into the blackness of space, each one sending false signals to the mercenary ships behind her. She smiled to herself as the first wave of drones was detected by their scanners. Immediately, the enemy ships shifted focus, some firing on the drones, while others attempted to track down the main ship. But Lyra wasn't there. She was already moving through the field behind them, using their momentary confusion to gain more distance. She wasn't just running anymore. She was fighting back. She could hear the distant crackle of comms as the handler on the other side scrambled to regain control of the situation. But it was too late. Lyra had already slipped into the shadows again. And this time, she was closing in on their flank. She would hit them where they least expected it. The tables were turning. And now she was in charge. The guild had underestimated her, and they were going to regret it. They had made a mistake. and she was going to make them pay for it. Lyra leaned back in her seat, watching the wreckage of the mercenary dreadnought drift into the void. The remaining ships had retreated, but Lyra knew this was far from over. The mercenary guild didn't let their losses go unnoticed. They would be back. They would send more ships, more hunters after her. It was only a matter of time before they gathered their forces and came for her again. But for now she had won. And that victory tasted sweet as the adrenaline left her body. Lyra felt the weight of exhaustion settle in. She had been running for so long now. It felt strange to sit still, to know that for a brief moment the danger had passed. She allowed herself a small moment of peace, but just a small one. She couldn't afford to rest for too long. She had to keep moving. The galaxy was vast, but the mercenaries had their reach everywhere. They would be relentless. But Lyra had her own resources, her own network. She knew how to stay one step ahead. She could find a way out of their grasp again. But she had to stay smart. The stars outside the ship were nothing but distant pinpricks of light. And in the silence of space, she found herself thinking of the past, the choices she had made, the paths that had brought her here. She had left the guild to escape a life that wasn't hers. But now she wondered if the choices she had made had led her here not to freedom, but to a never-ending fight. Was she ever truly free, or had she simply exchanged one kind of cage for another? It was a thought that bothered her, but she pushed it aside. She didn't have time for self-doubt. She needed a plan, a new direction. She needed to be ready for whatever came next. She activated the comm system again and sent out a signal. This one was different from the last. It wasn't a decoy or a trap, but a message to someone, a name she hadn't thought about in a long time, a name that still carried weight in the darker corners of the galaxy. The name of an old ally, someone who owed her a favor, someone who could help her disappear again. She tapped the keys and sent the message, then leaned back waiting. She didn't have to wait long before the reply came. It was a simple message, but it carried everything she needed to know. It was a go. The deal was still good, and the path to safety was open. Lyra's lips curled into a smile. She wasn't out of the woods yet, but this was the break she had been hoping for. The galaxy was still a dangerous place, but it was hers to navigate. She was no longer bound by the rules of the guild, or anyone else for that matter. She could go anywhere, do anything. She could rebuild herself. And with this opportunity, she would disappear from their radar completely. No more running, no more looking over her shoulder. She would finally be free, completely free. She shut down the comms and set the course. Her new destination was far away, a place so remote no one would think to look for her. She had a long road ahead, but she was ready to leave behind the life she had known and forge a new one in the vast unknown. The stars stretched endlessly ahead of her as Lyra piloted the ship through the deep blackness of space. The mercenaries were gone for now, but she knew they wouldn't stay gone forever. She had dealt them a crushing blow, but they would regroup, rebuild. They always did. And when they came back, she would be ready, or so. She told herself the truth was she didn't know what to expect anymore. Her life had always been a series of twists and turns, but never had she felt so completely uncertain about what came next. Still, she couldn't stop herself from smiling just a little. There was something freeing about knowing the guild had underestimated her. They thought they had control over her, but she had slipped through their fingers again. She wasn't the helpless girl they once knew. No, she had changed. She had become someone who could stand her ground and make her own rules. But even now, as she sailed into the unknown, the weight of her choices pressed on her. She wasn't just running anymore. She was running towards something new, something different. The past wasn't behind her, but it was starting to fade just a little bit. She wasn't sure what the future held or where it would take her. But she knew one thing for sure. She wasn't going to let anyone dictate her path anymore. And with that thought, Lyra set her course for a distant system, a place no one would think to look, a remote world hidden far away from the prying eyes of the mercenaries, or anyone else who might want to use her for their own purposes. The galaxy was vast, but there were places even the most dangerous hunters didn't dare venture. Lyra had made a deal with a contact who owed her a favor, someone who knew the deepest corners of space, and who could get her to safety. But safety was a strange word out here in the black. Nothing was truly safe. But there was something to be said for the freedom of knowing she could choose her own destiny, even if that meant stepping into the unknown once again. She glanced at the nav readouts and found her destination. The coordinates were locked in. She knew what she had to do, and there was no turning back now. She didn't want to look over her shoulder anymore, to live in fear of the guild or anyone else. She had left that life behind. The only thing that mattered now was moving forward, creating her own story. No more hiding, no more running, no more being someone's tool. She was going to build a new life. And if the guild or anyone else came after her, they would find someone different, someone stronger and more unpredictable than they could ever imagine. She turned off the comms and let the hum of the engines fill the cabin. For a moment she closed her eyes and felt the weight of everything she had done. She had fought and won, but more than that, she had survived. And now she was free to become whatever she wanted to be, and that was a victory no one could take from her. As the stars blurred past and the ship surged forward, Lyra knew she wasn't just escaping anymore. She was starting over, and this time she would do it on her own terms.
So this is the, yeah, this, not this one. There was a 5. There was a 5 in there, isn't it? Oh, I think we shifted it somewhere. Oh, we got 2 of these ones.
The air in the ceremonial chamber buzzed with an eerie stillness. Encased in a sprawling metal dome, the room seemed otherworldly, a testament to the fusion of humanity's technological ambition and the foreboding demands of their alien overlords. Bright, cold lights hovered overhead, casting sterile beams on polished steel walls etched with intricate glyphs. The centerpiece of the chamber was the stone dragon. This was no ordinary creature. Its body was a monolith of jagged, gleaming mineral. Segmented scales of translucent obsidian and quartz reflected the light like fragmented stars. Its massive wings arched to the ceiling, lined with veins of luminous green energy that pulsed like a heartbeat. The dragon's eyes glowed with an ancient, inscrutable intelligence, twin orbs of liquid sapphire suspended in its angular face. Around its feet, faint sparks of alien plasma rippled, a testament to its inhuman nature. A low murmur swept through the assembly of humans sitting in rows along the chamber's perimeter. They were dressed in ceremonial robes, their faces pale with fear and reverence. At the center of it all, standing alone before the stone behemoth, was a 68-year-old woman. Her silver hair was tied back in a practical knot, and though her frail form trembled slightly, her dark eyes burned with quiet defiance. Her name was Eleanor Reese. Eleanor had volunteered, or so the official narrative went. It was better this way, the council had assured her. The alien overlords, who called themselves the Kethar, demanded one sacrifice every decade to appease their guardian, the stone dragon of Ararat Station. In exchange, humanity was allowed to remain on the galactic frontier, spared from extinction by the Kethar's technologically superior fleets. A small price to pay, they said. But Eleanor was no ordinary victim. Decades ago, she had been an engineer, working on the deep space vessels that first made contact with the Kethar. She knew their kind, knew their hunger for control and domination masked under layers of cultural superiority. Her decision to step forward had less to do with altruism and more with the growing fire inside her. Humanity needed answers, and perhaps a chance to fight back. As she stepped forward, a council official droned on, his voice echoing in the cavernous chamber. We present this offering, the most sacred of our traditions, to the mighty guardian of Ararat Station. May this act renew the covenant between humanity and the Kethar, ensuring peace and prosperity for another 10 cycles. The dragon stirred, its head lowered slightly, a low, rumbling growl emanating from deep within its core. It sounded less like an animal and more like tectonic plates grinding together. The chamber fell silent. Eleanor tilted her head upward, meeting the dragon's gaze. Do what you must, she said softly, her voice steady. The crowd barely heard her. The dragon's sapphire eyes narrowed. For a moment, it did nothing, and then something surreal happened. The floor beneath Eleanor began to glow with the same pulsating green energy that coursed through the dragon's wings. She felt a sudden pull, gravity shifting sideways, as though the chamber itself were bending reality. The crowd gasped, and a few screamed as the dragon's massive tail swept forward, encircling Eleanor in a shimmering cage of translucent plasma. "Stop this madness!" one council member shouted, but the dragon ignored him. Its attention was fixed entirely on Eleanor. She felt her body lift, weightless now, as if she was suspended in the eye of a storm. A sharp pain blossomed in her temples as the dragon's sapphire eyes seemed to pierce her very soul. And then she heard it, a voice, deep, resonant, and alien. "You are not what they believe," Eleanor gasped. The voice was not external. It resonated inside her mind, filling every corner of her consciousness. She tried to speak, but no words came. Her thoughts unraveled like threads in a gale. "Do you seek truth, or do you bring it?" the voice asked. The chamber seemed to fade around her. In its place was a vast, infinite void, filled with stars and swirling nebulas. She could still see the dragon, though now it appeared smaller, its form more ethereal. It felt like standing in the presence of a god. I seek truth," she whispered, though her lips did not move. The dragon's gaze intensified. "Truth demands sacrifice, not of your body, but of your understanding." And then the visions began. Eleanor saw Earth, not as it was, but as it had been thousands of years ago. She saw the first humans gazing up at the night sky, their primitive minds grappling with the enormity of the universe. She saw the Keithers' arrival, their massive crystalline ships descending like angels of destruction. But they had not come to conquer, they had come to warn. Behind them in the infinite void loomed something far worse, a shadowy entity of impossible scale, devouring stars and bending galaxies to its will. "Your kind was chosen," the dragon's voice echoed in her mind. "Not to serve, but to survive. The Kethar are but custodians. We are the architects of your ascension." Eleanor's heart raced. "Ascension? What do you mean?" The void trembled. "It means evolution. The Kethar have delayed it, but they cannot stop it. You are more than they know, more than you know." She suddenly felt the weight of her years, the memories of a life lived in struggle and compromise. And yet, within her burned the fierce determination that had brought her here. If humanity was destined for something greater, she had to understand what. The vision shifted. She was back in the chamber, the dragon towering over her. The green energy now coursed through her body, illuminating her veins like a living constellation. The crowd was in chaos, some screaming, others frozen in terror. The council members were shouting orders, but their voices were drowned out by the pulsing hum of the dragon's power. The dragon spoke aloud now, its voice reverberating through the chamber like 1,000 bells ringing in unison. "The covenant is broken," the crowd gasped. The council members looked horrified. Eleanor, however, felt a surge of clarity. The dragon's words were not a death sentence. They were a declaration. "What now?" she asked, her voice clear and steady. The dragon's sapphire eyes softened, almost imperceptibly. "Now you choose. Will you stand with them, or will you stand apart?" Eleanor turned to face the assembly. The fear in their eyes was unmistakable, but so was the hope. She thought of all the lives that had been lost to this ritual, all the sacrifices made in the name of survival. For the first time, she understood that survival was not enough. Humanity needed more. She turned back to the dragon. "I choose to stand apart, but not alone." The dragon roared, a deafening sound that shook the chamber to its core. The green energy around Eleanor flared, and in an instant she was no longer alone. The dragon's essence flowed into her, merging with her consciousness. She felt her body change, stronger, lighter, more attuned to the universe's hidden rhythms. When the light faded, Eleanor stood transformed. Her silver hair now glowed faintly, and her eyes shone with the same sapphire light as the dragon's. She turned to the crowd, who stared at her in awe. "The age of fear is over," she said, her voice carrying an authority that silenced even the most skeptical council member. "It's time to reclaim our destiny. The dragon, now a mere shadow."
Your birth month Reveal your spirit animal. Check yours. Yeah, what your birthday month says about your spirit animal. You'd be shocked. Buddhist teaching. Buddhism wisdom 3 months ago. And then Christmas movie on the other side, left and right, kind of like bookshelfing. Okay, yeah, let's now broadcast.